You know, most people learn to cook from their parents when they get around their teenage years. Not everyone gets to perfect the culinary arts in high school. And that's just what the culinary students at Cape Henlopen are doing, and we would like to welcome them into the DelmarvaLife kitchen. I have here Chef Letitia DeSmook. She is the instructor of the program. Caleb Marcus, he is a student, he's a captain of the team, and we also have Kanaya Askia, and she is a student as well. Welcome. I feel like I just feel like I need a hat or something. So you guys have a wonderful program. You're going to talk about it, but you're also going to make something. What are we making?
Candied strawberries.
Candied strawberries. Yes. Okay. And
you also turn that down.
You need to turn this down. Okay. So what we did was we started off with some water and sugar.
Yes.
Yes. And what is that going to do?
It's going to caramelize, kind of, and it'll get thicker.
Oh, okay. Do we need to stir it or anything, or what's going on here?
We're going to let you do the honors.
Oh, I'm in charge. Okay. So tell me about the program. This sounds amazing that you teach kids to cook.
Essentially, yes, but the program is called Pro Start, and it literally makes them ready to be pros in the industry. So they leave the kitchen restaurant ready with Serve Safe certifications that a lot of us have had to wait until adulthood to get into, but they can actually do that in high school, and it sets them up for success, particularly in the restaurant and hospitality industry.
That's wonderful, and there's a lot of opportunity for that, especially around here, right?
Definitely, in a resort area for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And Caleb, you guys have actually won some awards.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So we got second place in the state this year for the culinary competition portion of it. We had 1 hour to make 3 dishes. We had 2 little plastic tables, and then we had 2 single burners. And it was a really fun experience.
Yeah, yeah. And then were you part of that as well?
Yes, I was.
What was that like? I mean, did you know what you were going to make ahead of time, or did they just kind of throw it at you and you had to make it?
We did know what we were going to do ahead of time. We practiced a lot before the competition, and there was a little bit of stressful things about it, just because like the water station was so far away from where we were, so if we needed to wash our hands, we had to run to like another place.
And that kind of gives them real life experience,
Absolutely.
doesn't it?
That's the pressure of the kitchen.
The pressure of the kitchen.
The pressure of the kitchen. Thankfully, nobody got chopped.
Oh, good.
But yeah, they had 60 minutes to create an appetizer, entree, and dessert with 4 chefs and 2 burners.
That's incredible.
So can you imagine?
No.
We struggle at home with 1 stove and 4 burners.
Exactly. Okay, so did this need to go to a certain temperature?
Yes.
Okay.
The candy thermometer.
To hard pack, which is 300 degrees.
You want it at 300 degrees. Oh, it's going up. I wish you guys could see this. It's definitely going up. Now, Caleb, as captain, do you get to do as much cooking?
So I don't really cook per se. I wasn't even allowed inside the little cooking area. I had to stand outside our little L-shaped tables. My job was coaching them, keeping them on time. We had I made a little spreadsheet of every 5 minutes what they were supposed to be doing, and we practiced a lot with that. And then I was also in charge of keeping the time, keeping them updated on the time. And then if they needed anything tasted, I was the only one that was allowed to taste the food, which was kind of interesting. And that was a unique challenge that we didn't really expect before starting practices.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And yeah, it was a really fun experience because I got to learn how to coach.
Coach, yeah, because there's always a head chef going around in a kitchen making sure. Where are we? We're at 220.
We're heating up. It's heating up.
It's heating up. What I imagine these students come in with a passion for cooking. What's that like when you get students who know what they want to do?
That's the sweet spot for me. I know everybody in the classroom doesn't aspire to be the next Gordon Ramsay, but even if you have some inspiration in culinary passion, it reignites my own passion for it, and I love to see them really growing. My teaching style is to just let them go, honestly, because it's arts. So there's an art to it. So, their expression is where they find their sweet spot. And the menu, they came up with the concept themselves. They worked through the pricing. They worked through actually creating a recipe line by line, ingredient by ingredient. That was a little bit grueling for practice, but we got through it. I mean, they can officially go into a kitchen and operate at an executive level, which is amazing as high school students.
And is that what you guys want to do?
Yes, for me
Kind
it
of.
is.
So the interesting thing is, I don't necessarily want to go into culinary right away. I want to work with the government at an embassy or something along those lines. But even though I'm not going to be going directly into culinary arts, the stuff I'm learning now, especially with the coaching and just learning how to work with other people and manage a team, is really useful for my future. And it's just really helpful.
Okay. Well, we seem to be stopped at like around 2:20.
Okay.
We
So-
could-
I want to heat it back up
could
a little
always-
bit more.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a little break and gut this heat up a little bit. We're going to make our strawberries, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what you guys are doing and introduce some more students. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, don't go too far. We're getting a few more lessons here from Cape Culinary students. We'll be right back. During the break, we got a little bit closer to finishing our candied strawberries, and we've got a few more students in the DelmarvaLife kitchen who are going to help us finish this dish, and then we're going to make a couple more dishes. I want to introduce you to Nate Steinman, Alessandra Bassard, and right here I have Keegan Cramen. They're all students with the culinary program at Cape, and the strawberries are here. So what happened is we didn't have the stove up high enough, did we? No. So it had to get to 300. The sugar kind of thickened up and everything, caramelized, and then you dipped the strawberries in there.
Correct.
Right? And then, can I try it?
Yeah, we can do them. Break them off.
I think they pulled down. So what you guys are doing now is, Alessandra, you're working on a
Appetizer.
What is that?
So I'm making shrimp tempura sushi, and I'm going to be finishing up with some spicy mayo and some tobiko.
Okay. So was it hard to learn how to roll sushi?
I'm actually Japanese, so I I grew up learning how to roll sushi.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. There you go. So what do you have in there?
So this is going to be some sriracha and some mayo, and I'm going to be mixing up with some lime juice. And it's
Okay.
going to be spicy mayo.
Okay, well, you go ahead and get to
Thank
that.
you.
Now, you guys, Keegan and Nate, you guys are making the dessert, and you have been working, both of you have been working on this whipped cream, which takes a little bit of physical strength, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what is in there?
This is heavy cream, sugar, and a little bit of vanilla bean extract.
Now, do you normally do it by hand, or do you ever put it in a mixer?
Yeah, we do it by hand. A lot of people can put it in a mixer, but we think it turns out better by hand.
Really? That's
Yeah, so
interesting.
you'd also have a bowl of ice under it to keep it cool, because the more you can whip it and mix it, the hotter it gets.
Okay.
So you got to be quick with it.
I see. Okay, and then, well, that's just the topping for the dessert. What do we have here?
Yeah, so this is a matcha crepe. We've practiced it with Pro Start weeks on end. It's kind of like a Smith Island cake. Once I layer it up, but in between the layers, we'll have the whipped cream, the strawberry slices, and to top it off, we'll have the candied strawberries as well to plate around. There's a little bit of matcha, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of flour, a little bit of eggs, which is because of crepes.
Sounds amazing.
And yeah, they only take maybe 30 seconds to a minute for each crepe, and I would stamp them out and form into a little.
Well, you better
Okay.
get going on that. You need to keep getting that ready. Now, you said you had told Keegan that this is actually soft peaks. So what do you want to get it to?
We want to get it as whipped as possible, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you want hard peaks, man.
Hard peaks. Okay. And how are you doing over there, Alessandra?
I'm doing amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So have you guys been? Tell me about the competitions you've been to.
So me and Nate last year also did Pro Start with a different group of kids, which that one helped us learn more about Pro Start. Then this year we have the group of, Alessandra, Kanida, and Caleb that you saw earlier with our mentor chef, which would be Chef T, and then we had another mentor, Chef Robert. And then we all do separate things. Like I worked on the dessert during the competition, Nate did the entree, Alessandra did the appetizer, Caleb was our captain to let us on time, and then Kanaya, she was our helping hand. Strawberry, she helped Alessandra with the appetizer, helped Nate with searing scallops for the entree.
Which, by the way, we have an entree here. You guys made this. What do we have here?
So this is seared scallops. They've been basted in butter. And we have homemade glass noodles, which are quite hard to figure out the batter, we realized. It has braised and slightly charred bok choy and then a stir fry.
Oh, that looks amazing. It looks amazing. All right. So, do you guys want a career? in a kitchen? Is that what you're thinking, or?
For me, it's my second option. I'm thinking about going into environmental sciences first, but culinary is definitely a backup option.
Yeah, how about you, Keegan?
So I've grown up in the kitchen. My dad worked at Lamppost, which was in Rehoboth many years ago, and then he worked at Blue Moon for a while for Meg Gardner. And then he caters, and so I go into catering with that. And then my mother, she was a pastry chef for some bread shops in Rehoboth. She was the head chef for the pastry department in Redner's.
Wow.
So I've just always grown up in the kitchen. But I personally wanted to go into architecture or automotive because I own 2 cars at 17 years old. So that's also a hobby that I do.
All right. And you know what? I'm gonna try this strawberry. And what about you, Alessandra?
I actually want to go into biology and become an anesthesiologist, but I do love cooking on my free time. I love baking as well.
Wonderful. And that is beautiful.
Thank you.
That's art, isn't it?
Yeah, it takes a lot of precision. For sure.
All right. Well, they're telling me I have to taste everything, so I gotta do what your producer tells you to do, right? So how many layers you got going there?
So far we've got 4.
Okay.
But, you know, you could do as little as you want. You could do as thin layers as you want. It's all depending on if you like a bit more, you know, earthy tones because of the matcha, or if you want it a bit sweeter with the heavy cream. You could also do different fruits if you'd like. You could add sauces. There's plenty of different options. Crepes are very versatile, so you can mix and match. You don't always have to do matcha. You can do a sweeter, a savory one.
My goodness.
Depending
Making
on
me
what you
hungry.
want.
Well, guys, thank you so much. I know that you guys have been working really hard, and congratulations on this, the championship or the competitions you've been doing, and good luck in future ones.
Thank you so much.
All right. Stick around. We'll have more Delmarva Life coming up.